I am Get You Soulmate and Dump the Rest. I help others to align with their partner, their perfect person, their soulmate, their twin flame. Basically, how to magnetize and attract the partner that they wish to have in their life. And I also do readings, not only just hypnosis and align them with their person. I also go and do readings so I can check in on the energies and see what has taken place. I also do all signs every weekend. So, right now, before we get started, let's do a collective reading, one for the divine feminine and then the divine masculine, and then see if we have some time and we can do a few personal readings. Hi, Anne. How are you? All right. So, first, let's get started with the divine feminine. All right. So, grab some cards. Hope you're well, and I had a very long day yesterday, so I was not doing a whole lot of readings yesterday. And I'll be checking in again later today. I am going to go and do all signs today as well. Hello, everyone. All right. So let's see what we have here. Divine feminine. So, divine feminine, we have reversed Five of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Swords. We have reversed Five of Swords. We have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the reversed Ace of Pentacles. We have the reversed King of Cups and the Ten of Cups. All right. So, what is this story telling me, divine feminine, about you? So, sorry about that. Just making sure my mic is on. So, what is this telling me? You're not abandoned anymore. You're a part of you still acts like you are, though, and this is not allowing you to be back in your warmth. You still feel a little bit like you are standing outside in the cold. And this is more of a habit and not energetically where you are. This is healing your abandonment and your rejection wounds. And so a part of you is still feeling left out, where you're forgotten or emotionally starving. Maybe you're finally coming to that point of realizing, I'm not actually outside anymore. I just keep identifying with the pain version of me. And so for those who are in that energy, you have to align yourself with the version of who you are and not that old version of you who identifies with that desperate version of yourself. So with the Seven of Swords, someone or yourself has not been completely honest with you. I feel you're not really being fully honest with yourself. This is creating I can't fully trust this feeling, and it's making you very guarded. Reverse King of Cups here is emotionally withholding, avoidant attachment, or some immaturity, or not yet wanting to reveal, suppressing that love in their heart. So a masculine So this is definitely a masculine energy here that is, or whoever is embodying this masculine energy is feeling deeply but refuses to reveal their feelings honestly. So they shut down and because they feel what you felt unsafe. So notice this a pattern that keeps on showing up where there's a emotional avoidance and the delayed offer, and your abandonment wound then triggers in, and that's the loop that keeps on showing up here. With the Ten of Cups, you still look like you're aligned with emotional fulfillment here, the dream, the soul level happiness, the feeling of I am loved for who I am. And this feels like it's going to be in this lifetime. It's about wish being fulfilled, your legacy, you've earned this passage. And it is a fulfillment in your relationship and your emotional life. So you're still having this card on the table. You're still able to receive your vision of what you deserve. Don't downgrade yourself. Don't lower your standards, because you may not be ready to meet where you are or needing to go to, but you need to heal yourself from that abandonment. You need to be done with the drama. You need to want something to be real and lasting. And whatever it was that you felt at the beginning, it just became stalled. And you're still aligned with that Ten of Cups. You're still aligned with the Ten of Pentacles. You are aligned with a shared future. Your soul knows it. Your soul believes it, but there is some avoidance here. And so, this is just you struggling with this silence that you hope it just fixes itself. You are coming to this conclusion that the truth is, I'm afraid that I'm going to lose them. So you keep on trying to compensate for them. You feel safer keeping this mask of pain, because if you let it go, you're scared that you're going to let go something that's really good, and that you're going to lose something that you've worked so hard for. This self-protection behavior is self-sabotaging for you. It's actually hiding what you actually need to voice for yourself. You've got the reverse Five of Swords here, and that's a desire to end this battle. It's done. You're done with the drama. You're done with the mind games. You're done with the power struggles. You're done with who is right and who is wrong. And so you're ready to level up to, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? You know what? You just want peace. Instead of winning, you just want peace. You want contentment. There is a huge maturity shift for you, and your nervous system is aligning with love language is not conflict. My love language is being safe. Hi, Benny. With the Ten of Pentacles here, your timeline is showing safe and stable. you are future building, you are real commitment, long term. It's here. It's here. And so these cards are telling you you are meant for something that is long lasting, stability, not chaos. You're not crazy for wanting the real thing. You're not asking for too much. And so what's happening here is with the reversed Ace of Pentacles that is sitting here as one of your cards, you feel like you started something that shouldn't have been started. And you feel like you manifested this, but maybe this relationship just didn't become official. It stalled. Maybe perhaps the job or money opportunity looked promising, but then fizzled. You know, maybe somebody appeared to be serious, or maybe you did and then backed out. You know, maybe you just felt like you were being teased in the moment and felt hanging at the end. And so this is your nervous system catching up. Your nervous system is being misregulated. You know, your maturity is saying, no, I choose to be regulated. I choose to be in a safe mode instead of chaos. That is not hopeless. This is a checkpoint. This is where we're pivoting. Because, let me shuffle. Let me see, pull some more cards. So here we have the Ten of Swords, reversed Justice, reversed Nine of Wands, reversed Four of Cups, Four of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. This is a breaking point, and this is, I am done letting this destroy me. I am now at a cycle of emotional rock bottom, last straw. You are now have been on a journey of releasing the betrayal, the overthinking, the humiliation, the exhaustion, and being on the floor crying and wondering why you're the one that is trying to hold this together when nobody else gives a crap. You know, this card is showing me the worst has happened. You survived it. The, the version of you that held on to that pain is no longer you. That's done. Gone. The reverse justice is saying, this is the imbalanced energy. You gave more than they did. There is injustice here. There is karmic misalignment here. You know, you stayed emotionally honest. They may have stayed emotionally protected or detached. You know, you bend, they stayed rigid. There is just you and the divine were misaligned. Reverse justice is also saying you normalized being played unfair. It's time to stop romancing. Normalization is being ignored, avoided, blocked, treated unfairly. The one who has to do all the work. You know, this is saying you called it spiritual connection. Instead, it should be called lopsided effort. It's basically unrequited love. And you said this was all about you, when instead you had to bring the wall down and look at you. Because the reverse 9 of Wands is you seeing how you've been protecting yourself because you knew they were going to wreck you. You knew that hypervigilance, that giving, they were just going to take it. And so you were on guard. You knew that you were going to be hurt. And you cannot manifest love if you are in a combat stance. You can't manifest love knowing that you're in a war. And so your body has to feel safe to receive. If you are watching your nervous system push back, that's a no. If you're pushing ahead, that's a yes. You know, your nervous system is giving you all sorts of signs that you were out of alignment. So with the reverse 4 of Cups, this was your emotional thawness. This is where you were coming out of your numbness. This is, nothing is good enough. Everything is just feeling, I don't care anymore. And you're waking up. You're starting to feel desire again. You're starting to feel what it's like to feel loved. 4 of Wands, wow, this is a celebration, a union frequency, a stable relationship. It's an energy. I deserve this now. I feel desired. I feel wanted. I feel needed. I feel, that they can't get enough of me. It is not a fantasy future. This is a belonging. For some of you, because for some of you, when I'm looking at the 4 of Wands here, you're moving towards a connection that can actually hold you, love you, feel you, nurture you. And for some others, that may be just rewriting what home feels like in their own nervous system, in their own body. Here you are in your Queen of Wands energy, Divine Feminine. Here you are, remembering who the heck you are. Magnetic. Oh, electrifying. You're gorgeous, well put together, attractive without even begging. You're desired without chasing. You don't have to beg and plead with somebody or apologize for being you. The Queen of Wands is, you are nothing without me, because I am the standard. When she shows up after the Justice reversed, she is saying, I'm not doing unequal ever again. If you want access to me, you better show up in truth and effort, and otherwise, watch me walk away. Goodbye. Because with the Page of Pentacles, This offer is new, small, sincere, grounded, real. So look for a message, an apology, maybe a new person who might show up, or an opportunity for that money or that job or that person to show up to support you moving forward, because the seed to your next chapter is there. It's not love bomb energy. It's not a fantasy either. But it's not emotional chaos. It's, I want to build this brick by brick. And I want the 10 of Pentacles. I want the 10 of Cups. I'm tired of being hurt like you are. I'm no longer available to unfair love, and I want to share it with you. Today is when we stop arguing and defending someone else's potential and start living from the truth of really what they are. So you don't have to abandon your identity. You don't have to fight or prove anything. You just have to understand that you have been begging and girding yourself to other people, trying to convince your self-worth. And you were fine with the littlest tidbits of attention because you thought that was all that you deserved. So we are going to regulate your nervous system. We're going to be emotionally honest with ourselves. And you are now going to attract a soul mate or soul level relationship that would feel like home and not from a survival mindset. And not just someday. You're not going to wait to be chosen. You are chosen. You just need to match with the right timeline now. So this is where this mirror is now going to turn. And the feminine is now learning to stand in her power. You're letting go of scarcity. You're letting go of the victim abandonment and the breadcrumbing. So I see here the divine masculine has been awakening and realizing who you are. So now you have to show up for yourself because illusions are breaking, and it wouldn't make sense if they see who you are and you don't show up in that way anymore because their defenses are falling. Their heart is starting to remember the integrity of who you are. So if you're tired of being hurt, no longer be available for love that is unfair to you. This is not about romance. This is about frequency. This is about the end of survival-based romances where we chase and fix and negotiate for emotional stability, and the beginning of sovereign love where you stand in your truth and your nervous system now manifests a reciprocal energy so that you don't have to abandon your own identity anymore. You don't have to be fighting to be understood. You don't have to guard people from you or pretend that you are someone else. You are the Queen of Wands. And you're now attracting the King of Hearts. And as you become the woman that you really are, you'll see that you are the Queen of Hearts, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and, or what did I forget? Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Hearts, and the Queen of Pentacles. Worthy, compassionate, desirable and attractive, and intelligent. And you're ready now to attract that beautiful connection that you deserve, that you desire. And that means it's starting right now. So what do you desire? All right. So that's a collective message. And I'm ready to do a few little readings for you too. All right. So I hope anybody who that message was for, hoping I can see all the messages here. Who? Anne says yes, please. Let's see, Anne. These were going to be a little bit more shorter readings. Let me see what the energy tells me for you. All right. All right. So I'm going to call you out. Are you okay with that? First card, Ace of Pentacles. All right. Under the deck, Seven of Swords. Where have you been lying to yourself? You know, you've been hiding back your own self. You've been, I can see where this was resonating with you. You actually, I'm looking at the Ace of Pentacles, the reverse Nine of Cups, the Chariot, the Eight of Swords, and the Page of Swords. There's some karmic contracts here. I am looking at, there is a transition where you are beginning to understand that you are deserving of something that is a new opportunity for you to receive. And it has a lot to do with your self-worth. It has a lot to do with more than money. This is about your own self-value. And so, you know, I'm seeing here that you never really felt deserving of what you wanted. You put people first before you. And so I'm seeing here that commitments or pleasures were based on what others wanted, not you. You actually feel really lost when you don't have somebody for you to devote your love to, because now you don't know how to serve yourself because you're so regulating your system to see what somebody else wants. So you only felt validated when they were validating you instead of you choosing you yourself. You need to be determined to serve yourself first. And once you understand that the only reason why you were going in two different directions was because they weren't even aligned with you. They never even chose you. They were only serving themselves. So all you were doing was trying to put all of this energy into what do they want. And never once did you put yourself first. So you kept on putting all that energy into making sure they were happy, making sure that their pleasures were always hit on. You were people pleasing, you were unvalidating yourself. And before you know it, you were focusing on them so much that all the energy went to them. And now that you are determined to put this energy into yourself, you can start moving forward because now you know what you want. And you never questioned what you wanted before because it was always about them. You see, you were trapped in your own misery. You were trapped in this victim hostage because of the fact that your relationship was always based on how they felt about you. You felt powerless because you gave all your power to them. Your karmic lesson in this lifetime was to see how your people pleasing and unworthiness and looking for their validation was the reason why you were attracting these types of people who were never once choosing you until you learned to choose yourself. Yeah, they were curious and maybe they were even willing to communicate. But you never once asked them, what did they like about you? To see if it matched with who you really are. You were always asking them what they liked so that you morphed into that. You don't even know who you are. You've been lying to yourself because you created another self. It was never a team effort because you were never involved. You were just a wonderful actress of becoming whoever they wanted you to be. So, of course, you can always be whatever they wanted. And the only reason you can't attract them now is because you don't even know who you are to be in your own energy. To pull them in is a magnetizing energy of the divine feminine. You lost the ability to actually truly see yourself. You don't see who you really are. So when you look in the mirror, really look in your eyes and think of all the things that you would never trade yourself with another person for. Ground yourself in all the amazing things that you know that nobody else would do for you, and do it for yourself. Think of how kind you are, how loving you are, how devoted you are, how supported you are, how you never let go, how you feel, and how you work so hard. Just think of all the wonderful things that you are, the miracle of this beautifulness that you have become. And when you are putting all of that together, look at yourself in the eyes and know, I would never trade myself for anyone. And that is the moment you start self-abandonment renewal in your own self, because you've been abandoning yourself for a very long time. It's time for you to come back home. You walked away, you let go, and you abandoned yourself. You didn't feel complete because you were missing. And so your soul created this separation until you found yourself. The spiritual love was written in the stars. To show you what do you want has a lot to do with finding yourself. By the way, I created a new meditation for my client this morning. I'll create it as a video. You'll love it. Because it's time for you to have the faith and the positivity and the inspiration and the hope and the healing. Because you deserve more than a spiritual love. You deserve more than a mental love. And you deserve so much more than just a passionate love. You deserve a physical love. All of it. It's time to release the codependency, the addictions, and the ego saying, am I enough? Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for showing up, because there was many people who needed to hear this message. The conflict is created from the chaos and the drama and the pain and the suffering that's been passed on long before you were even born. It's time for us all to remember who we are. And right now we still have Chiron inner return. For some of you, you're not going through your Chiron return, in retrograde. We have Mercury shadow going into retrograde. We have Pluto just coming out of retrograde, but we still have a few planets still in retrograde, Saturn being one of them. And so there is a lot of coming home to yourself. And that's okay, because I got you. For those who are joining me for the first time, I have some wonderful hypnosis meditations that I do with clients who come here for past life regressions and sessions to assist. And I recreate some of those for you to also be able to listen so that you can align with your soulmate too. One time may be effective, 21 days. It really will help, because subconscious reprogramming does take a little work. And I appreciate you too. All right, so is there any more who wants to have a reading? Don't be afraid. I can be a little harsh. Hi, sunshine. I am. Do you want a quick little read? Oh, I'm doing amazing. I'm doing great. By the way, I'm a new grandma again. I have now a granddaughter and a grandson. I'm going to visit both of them next weekend. But I will have internet. I have my own hotel room, so I will be sure to hop on for a little bit before I take off on my plane next weekend. All right, sunshine. When you have a chance, go back and listen to the first part of this and even check Anne's reading. Yes, I thought it was you. I I was pretty sure it was you. But it was a different name. But I knew you were probably you because I knew you were my moderator. All right. I got some messages for you. You may not be happy. Well, yes, I have 2 grandchildren now. One is living in one part of the country. I have one in one part of the country, and I have one in another part of the country. And so they're not close by, but I'm flying to go and visit them. All right, sunshine. I know it's cherry, but I like sunshine too. I like sunshine because sunshine is the sun card in the tarot deck, which is the most positive, enlightening card in your journey. And so sunshine is great. But your energy is saying something is happening and it's happening really fast. Oh, it is happening. And like don't even stop and think about it because it's happening so fast. And so it's going to happen suddenly. Something is happening really, really fast. And when this happens, it's going to happen really fast. And what's happening is not restrictive to you. It's actually really freeing. You are going to be free of something that you have been restricted from or something that you have felt victimized or powerless, or you're going to be a little blindsided by this though. So something is happening really fast, and it's not something that somebody is not taking pity on you. It is not something that is being given to you as a gift. You earned it. You fully deserve it. You don't have to work for it. It is an opportunity, and it is a powerful, beautiful, abundant opportunity. And it is coming to give you stability and security. And it is not something in the future. It is not something that you have to grow and be confident and you don't even see it coming. You were blocked from receiving it. You were in a state of victim mentality where you felt that you had to hold energy back. You had to hold yourself back. You were insecure about something and you held yourself back, not realizing that it was time for you to allow it to flow. He is going to be reliable, practical, very grounded, hardworking, and he's going to give you a commitment. Yeah. It's like you're already in alignment with it. So don't feel like there's something you have to do. You just need to release the block. Just release Am I good enough? Am I, like I said, listen to the video I just did of Anne, and you'll see what I'm showing you, because everything just shifts so fast, just like that. And I'm telling you, not only did I get the King of Pentacles, I just next got the King of Pentacles. Abundance, responsible, provider, reliable. He is showing up. So that's your reading. Wow, that was pretty good. I'm glad you showed up, because somebody else probably needed to hear this. All right. Anybody else want a quick read? Yeah, I have a couple of videos. I'm posting a new video. After I'm done this, I'm going to record my a video. I don't know who's here on. There's only showing about 4 or so. It's a little early for my live. Usually it's 1:11 though. It's 1:11 right now. Love it. I just looked at the time. So I only have about 4 people right now. And usually when I'm doing them, I have quite a few people, but I do better when I'm later at night, I think. Yeah. So I definitely will have it ready later on in the day. Right? Yeah, no, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen real fast. Like look for it. No, don't think you have to do, like, it's just going to happen just like that. It's like boom, boom, boom. 4:11 here. Yeah, it's 1:11, 1:12 now, but yeah, it was 1:11 when I looked at the clock. Align yourself with your feminine energy, and that is it. That's all you have to do. Yes, I do readings. Do you want a card? I do ask everybody who gets readings to make sure you subscribe. And if you want to not miss an opportunity, hit that little button below so you can subscribe. All right. Random, is that random bozo? Are you trying to state your random? As long as you're not a serial killer. All right. Random man. All right. Or random bozo, or random something there. I can't see what this is on. All right. So you're asking about a commitment. There is some kind of traditional, I say, commitment. This commitment cannot always just mean about a relationship, but this is something to do with some kind of commitment in a higher learning that is shared with another. This is something to do with your belief system. This is something to do with you evolving into something that makes you feel seen and heard and loved. I'm seeing here that you are not in your, and I'm just saying what the cards are, you're not seeing the emperor there, where there is control and authority and and the masculine part of the equation. There is a masculine and a feminine in all of us, and that the masculine needs to be an authority in balance and in tandem with the divine feminine, which is the intuitive instinct part of us. And so there is a lack of control, there's a lack of an authority inside of you. And so you are coming into a situation where you are really reflecting, yourself. You're looking inside yourself. You're really looking at, who are you? And so, because you have walked away and, let go and let things float off you. You didn't really pay attention. You were like, that wasn't for me. And so now you're starting to question, why do certain things happen to you? You're starting to question, your inner child healing, or, how certain things align with another. You are looking at how people come together and how a positive insight will attract another. You are looking at, instead of the hardships and loss, how you may have been having ample opportunities for experiencing firsthand. Instead of attracting the loss, you have been granted the pleasure of being able to witness another in wonderful ways. Sometimes things have to fall apart for things to come together in a stronger, wonderful way. And sometimes things are not successful, but those things can just fall away. Is there a particular question that you would like to ask? Because that's what's coming through for you. I do see there is some grief and some pain that is still happening for you. Because of resistance, there is a lot of resistance of equally sharing. There is a lot of resistance of having trust in another. There is a lot of resistance in the innocence of another. I see you very much trying to micromanage instead of inspiring and motivating another. Let me see about career. Well, hopefully it's different than what I just seen, because I see a lot of resistance coming from you. All right. There's a lot of resistance with you. Hi, Jessica. All right. So there's a lot of resistance with you. And you know why? Because all of your cards keep on coming up upside down. And upside down is um, denial. There's something about denial here. I see here you're stuck. You're stuck in this energy where things are like slow molasses. I see here that your inspiration of creativity is um, being repressed. And I feel that you've got here not receiving the success that you deserve because you're trying to be very logical, analytical. You're suppressing your heart and you're not emotionally feeling and being attuned with what feels right and what doesn't. Your authority is is what needs to guide you. You need to feel your movement of what you're supposed to do. And what I see is instead that um, you are resisting commitments and relationships. You are resisting. Um, you're not. You're not. You're not in victim mentality. You're not in this powerless entrapment, but you're afraid of becoming a victim. So you're kind of like trying your best not to be sabotaged by someone. It's like you're overcompensating. And that's what's happening here. I see here that you need to learn how to adapt to the possibility that someone may have something to share with you. It's not that you're in denial, but you need more confidence. Yeah, you're motivated, but it's hard for you to let somebody close. You're really guarded. You're afraid that somebody's going to deceive you. So you're like needing to be 2 steps ahead. I'm going to grab another deck of cards. It took a while. There was some light at the end of the tunnel, just as I felt like a new deck of cards. Yeah, it's showing. It's showing so much resistance. It's really showing here. So much resistance. It's like you need a mediator because there's so much conflict in this energy. This tension that you've been experiencing is actually a tension that has been really interfering energetically with you. You're not receiving the happy surprises that you deserve. You're not in receiving mode at all. In fact, you deserve the joy and positivity and the success and all of those beautiful blessings. But you're holding on to an energy because of pain. Somewhere came up for you. There is something, there is something I don't know if you came really close to it before and just so close and then you felt let down. I don't know, but it just seems like you deserve more than what you have achieved, and you have just been kind of stuck in that energy. So you are not to keep on walking away. You're not to be keep on letting everything, like you're to open up the ability to feel in your sacral that you know all is well and that this is something new for you. And if your nervous system and everything starts reacting to something else, well, that's the thing. Why would you feel you're not deserving of it? That is a limited belief. What happens is, where is, who is this prosecutor who's telling you you're not deserving of it? Self-worth, that's where that confidence, that's where I said originally, this is about you having the confidence. And confidence is a lot to do with self-worth. And self-worth has a lot to do with what you feel like you deserve, right? So the deserving of it is, why don't you trust karma? Because karma is not there to punish us. Karma is not there to punish us. Karma is there to balance it all out. That self-worth is, we feel we're punished. When we're punishing ourselves, we're in a state of our own imprisonment. If we see that everything is available to us, it's just our own imprisonment, and that's what you're in. You're in your own self-limiting imprisonment. So if you're asking, how's your career going to go? Do you believe that everything can go wonderful? Do you believe that it's unfair to think of beautiful, wonderful things? Do you believe that it's an indulgence in some way? Then you may be persecuting yourself, not the universe. You've been pushing away your blessings. And you want others to prove that you deserve them. So that's the reading I got for you. Look inside and see why you are less deserving than anyone else. And if you feel that there is something there, forgive yourself. You're only human. Yeah. And you're failing because everyone else is succeeding. And if everybody else is succeeding and you are failing, you're out of alignment. How can you be in alignment? And the secret that you just said, you're surrounded by winners, which means you're a winner too. Because if you were surrounded by people who were not winning, it would be up to you to light the cycle. But instead, everybody is already showing you how to be a winner. All you have to see is that you're not competition with them. You just have to align with the frequency of them being aligned with you. There is no separation. It's water. You can't contain water from touching water. They blend naturally, organically. It's just how the symbolics of our universe works. The air cannot be contained unless you put a wall up. And even so, air will still go through that wall. Just understand that if you're surrounded with wonderful, high vibrating people who are succeeding, allow yourself to believe that they're showing up for you to share their blessings with you, and be open to receive whatever it is that they have to share with you. When you start looking at all of those benefits, everything will shift for you. You don't trust others. It's time for you to trust yourself and to love yourself and to see that everything begins with you and how you feel about yourself. And everything is a mirror of that. And instead of paying attention to the failing, close your eyes and say, reset me now. And just look for how the opportunities will show up now for you. Stop being stuck in the comparison. Stop being stuck in the results. Now be open to what can shift and change. That's the message for you. All right. I am going to go and get that video ready. Does anybody else need a message? And I think we had some wonderful messages on this live today. I hope everybody takes the time to watch it all. Listen to it a few times if you need to. Don't defend yourself, everybody. Don't protect yourself, everybody. Don't even have to stand your ground. Allow yourself to receive. Okay, Jessica, I'll do you. All right. So, Jessica, you're having an emotional awakening. New love is becoming within you. Your intuition is starting to open up again. You're starting to understand what love within feels like. I see some aces here for you. And so now you're starting to get clear on what is true. You're starting to get clear in what is deserving and what is you. And you're letting go of some charming idealist story that was not for you. There was a situation where you gave somebody the love and like you created this fantasy with such tactfulness and grace and elegance, who wasn't any of those things. So this person instead mirrored heartbreak and pain and suffering, separation and grief and pain. And then you started questioning your own belief system. You start questioning your own intuition and power. You started wondering if you were deserving. You started thinking you were in a karmic darkness. You were resilient, but he almost literally took you down. And you got tired. You were almost, man, you worked so hard. Because you felt like you needed to prove yourself. And you were struggling so much not to lose yourself. You were at your breaking point where you literally lost yourself. But that was when you found yourself. It was time for you to take back your love and to start putting that love back into you. Because you were giving yourself, self-abandoning yourself because you didn't want to give up. You didn't want to feel betrayed. You didn't want to feel used or defeated. And you definitely did not want to feel like a failure. And you just wanted to receive something for all that hard work. Thank you, my beautiful cherry blossom. Don't apologize. I loved your presence. So back to you, Jessica. You are making happiness your number one priority. You're making your family a number one priority. And you are becoming the divine feminine empress that you are so that you can hold your own energy and power and be a role model to those who are sacrificing themselves. You know that there was a belief system that you had to learn more about. In order for you to evolve, you had to grow and learn through this truth that you never really understood what it was like to be sacrificed for someone else's pleasure. For something that wasn't even fated. All to take you back to reflecting on yourself and everything that you were about to lose. All because you were curious. About someone who didn't even choose you. He may have loved you, but he never chose you. Because you didn't choose yourself. You were to learn how to release a codependent relationship that was based on attachment, based on limerence, and to achieve independence and self-sovereignty. A new opportunity is coming for you where you will have the security and the belonging and the stability and the opportunity to be sovereign and to keep your soul worth intact for you. Rebuild your confidence, rebuild yourself, because in the future, there is much there for you. And it is not because of someone else. Look ahead. Don't look back. Your future does look good for you. Focus on your new abundance. Focus on your purpose. Focus on why you did all of this for. It had nothing to do with the other person. This had everything to do with you being sovereign, with you really seeing the beautiful power of you. That was your message. By the way, you were not fully honest with yourself. And at times, others tried to tell you, and it's not that you didn't listen. It wasn't because you weren't listening. You just wasn't able to get past the veils to hear everything that was being told to you. And that's what evolution means. It wouldn't have been effective if somebody just told you the truth. You would have not experienced it the same way. Like I said, you need it to be right. You need it to be fulfilled. You need it to feel that you won, but you were always the prize. You're the prize. You just didn't realize it yet. All right. So I'm going to be on later on today for my later reads. For those who like to do the nighttime, or the time changes are all different for everybody. And I'm looking forward to what messages we can all share with each other. And if you're just checking on, share this video with everybody. Tell everybody. Oh, and check out this meditation that I am going to upload later on today. Look out for it, because it's gonna be a good one. I'm loving these meditations that I've been uploading. They're amazing. I'm so excited. All right. So I would go back right to the start of the energies as we're entering into the shadow part of Mercury retrograde. So, anybody that you've had unfinished business with will show up. Just saying. Anybody who you may have fallen away from may reappear. That doesn't mean that you're the chosen one. It just might mean there's a karmic lesson that may show up. Just observe, but don't you lose yourself for anyone. All right. See you all later. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all of your assistance and help. Watch some of those videos. Help me get my hours in so I can be part of the YouTube providers and help you all. Much love to all of you and blessings.